Two teenagers have been arrested in the UK in connection with a hostage-taking at a synagogue in Texas. The kidnapper was British. So now British media reports that two teenagers have been arrested in Manchester. They are said to be in connection with a hostage-taking that police ended in a synagogue in Texas on Sunday. The hostage-taker was a British citizen. The United States and Great Britain have described the hostage-taking in a synagogue in the US state of Texas as an act of terrorism. British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss condemned the terrorist and anti-Semitic act in the small town of Colleyville on Sunday. The US Federal Police FBI had previously identified the hostage-taker as a British citizen. The police freed the hostages on Saturday and the perpetrator died. Apparently, he wanted to free a Pakistani woman who had been convicted of terrorism charges. The police ended the hostage-taking on Saturday evening after several hours and, as I said, freed the three remaining hostages. Another hostage had previously been released. The armed perpetrator died. It was initially unclear whether he was killed by the emergency services or if he committed suicide. It was an act of terrorism, President Biden said on a visit to Philadelphia on Sunday. He indicated that the perpetrator had demanded the release of Pakistani Afia Siddiqui, who is being held in the US on terrorism charges. The crime is related to someone who was arrested 15 years ago and has been imprisoned for 10 years, Biden said. US federal police identified the kidnapper as a 44-year-old British citizen named Malik Faisal Akram. The FBI in Dallas said there is currently no evidence of other people involved in the crime. The attacker took the rabbi and three other people into his force or his power in the synagogue in Colleyville. Up to 200 police officers, including FBI officers, were on site. About 10 hours after the hostage-taking began, special forces stormed the synagogue. All hostages were unharmed. The suspect died, Colleyville Police Chief Michael Miller said. Miller did not provide any information on the cause of death. Journalists reported a loud explosion and gunfire in the synagogue. According to information from the broadcaster ABC, the attacker had demanded the release, as I said, of the Pakistani scientist Siddiqui, who had been sentenced to 86 years in prison in the USA in 2010 for the attempted murder of US soldiers in Afghanistan. US tabloid media gave her the nickname Lady Qaeda in reference to the extremist network Al-Qaeda. The case had caused outrage in Pakistan. In a live broadcast of the service, which was streamed on Facebook, the alleged perpetrator's voice was briefly heard, demanding to call his sister. And he meant Queen Qaeda with that. According to experts, he was probably referring to Siddiqui as a sister in the Islamic faith in a figurative sense. Siddiqui is incarcerated in Texas. Her lawyer told CNN that she had absolutely nothing to do with the hostage-taking. The FBI did not comment on the possible motive of the perpetrator. Biden denied media reports that the hostage-taker was carrying multiple bombs. He promised to act against anti-Semitism and against the increasing extremism in his country. The British government promised the US its support in the investigation. We stand with the United States in defending the rights and freedoms of our citizens against those who spread hatred, Secretary Truss tweeted. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said on Twitter, "This event is a stark reminder that anti-Semitism is still alive and we must fight it around the world." The Texas hostage situation has raised serious concerns among Jewish organizations in the United States, as well as among the Israeli government. Israel's ambassador to the US, Michael Herzog, said he was grateful that all the hostages were safe. The Council of American Islamic Relations also condemned the act and offered any help to the Jewish community in Colleyville. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.